Peace and blessings, y'all. I'm Andra Day from the United States versus Billie Holiday, and this is my story.
Reporters keep asking me, Billie, why you do the things you do? This is what I tell them.
I got the role at the top of 2018, and we didn't start filming until the end of 2019. I mean, it was a lot. Honestly, there was physical transformation. I cut off all my hair. I mean, it was like down to my butt. I cut it all off, like straight razor in the back. You know, I lost a lot of weight. I started out at 163 and I got down to 124. I was drinking. I was cussing. Which I don't do. And just being more sexual, which I'm not typically. And just practicing her habits and just trying to live as her every day. Obviously, I was a fan of hers long before this, since I was 11 years old, but I reread Lady Sings the Blues a few times. I read every book I could get my hand on, every magazine article, disparaging articles, positive ones about her fashions, and studying, the FBI even. There was the emotional work, that was a really challenging thing for me. It was a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of transformation, but it was definitely worth it. She is worth it, and I do believe God wanted this story told, and that's important for me.
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze.
There was just such a sense of urgency, I think, just singing Strange Fruit and playing her. It's more than just singing a song and paying homage to her. There's a need for people to hear the words, to not enjoy the song. Don't enjoy the song. It's not a beautiful song. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible song, but it's a necessary song. There's a lot of sort of trauma built up just from playing her life, and the heartache from that, heartache from my own life and my own trauma, heartache from being a Black woman living in America, just living in the world, and there's a sort of inherent invisibility that comes with that. Yeah, I mean, it was heavy. It was honestly transformative. People would randomly say to me, actually, like on set, or Tasha would say to me, oh, you're gonna win an Oscar. They'd be really excited. I couldn't let it in my head, to be honest with you, because I just felt like it was just gonna change my performance. It just wasn't a reality to me. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It was sort of like, okay, that's cool and all, but I got to survive this moment right now. You know what I mean? And I have to be great in this moment right now. So everything was very moment to moment, very present. For me, what was beautiful about this film is that it vindicates her legacy. Unfortunately, our narratives are often suppressed and they're often spun and retold so that the depth of our struggle is not known, or our contribution is not known. She sang Strange Fruit unto her death, and to know that her life, though she was a drug addict, she wasn't a tragic, hopeless drug addict. Her life was taken from her ultimately, and it was because she wouldn't stop singing about, racial terror in America. So people can expect a hero. They can expect the godmother of civil rights and someone they can pay homage to and say thank you to, and inspiration for moving forward in the future. Because if she could fight one singular solo Black woman and shoulder this burden on her own in the 40s, we definitely can and have to do it now. So I think it's I'm excited for how it's received.
We will rise, we will rise, we'll rise.
It was amazing. I mean, it's unfortunate because of the circumstances we're in. We couldn't be together, because I would have loved to be able to meet her in person and just hug her and thank her for the inspiration she sort of bestowed upon all of us in this last year. But it was just knowing that she was going to be there, knowing that they were cutting it in and we were sort of doing this at the same time. And then being at the Black Lives Matter Boulevard in Hollywood and her being at the Plaza in DC, it was just, it was sort of a culmination of, I don't want to just say last year, but just the moment that we're in right now. I don't think we realized how much of a weight was on us until we got to this moment and realized, wow, we can, not that the work stops, you know what I mean? But that sort of feeling in the pit of our stomachs does feel like it's been a bit alleviated. The Black Lives Matter movement is, for me, primarily about progress, but also visibility, this devaluing of Black lives or monetizing Black lives, whether it's in prison or whether, it's exploitation in the media or just outright, theft of our, intellectual property or creative property. This is a regular practice that has become very, very normalized for us as a community. And we are too familiar with this type of loss and this type of tragedy and this type of violence committed against our community. So for me, it's about visibility. It's about reminding us as a community that the things that are happening should not be happening. They are not normal. To not normalize it for our generation, for our kids' generation, and to progress forward. So I feel like people are beginning to understand that our lives mattering, or women's lives mattering, or as we hear, trans lives, LGBTQ lives mattering, is not a detriment. It's actually a service to your life and to your ability to grow and to thrive as a person. And so I'm hoping that continues to carry on. It makes this Black History Month, or just Black history throughout the year, necessary. You know what I mean? It's American history. It's world history.